Hello, welcome back to the Slowest Gamer's escapades in Magic Duels. Tonight we're doing something completely different. Since the Super Friends deck didn't go very well last time, I'm leaving it on a back burner a bit. I have some redesign plans in mind, but I'll wait till I get hopefully a couple more Shadows over Innistrad cards. Until then, I am taking a completely different approach. And we're going aggressive this time, just to punish all those durdly decks, and hopefully um, it proves good enough to win a couple of games. So I call it Suicida Blank because it's actually a two-color black deck. Two-color because it has colorless cards, but only one, only a couple that actually require colorless mana to cast. But there are many abilities that rely on colorless mana, which are pretty important. Um, so let's get right into it. River Drone and Sludge Crawl are the only one drops that I can reliably find to deal more than one damage for one mana. If I had more River Drones, I would have played them. Sludge Crawler is here just because I wanted more one-drop attackers. Um, and I don't care about ingest in this deck, but just so I can throw in excess mana into this pump ability uh, is what makes me want to play this. It's really good to have a one drop, but I didn't want to go overboard on them because they get outclassed really quickly. Uh, Dead weight is very efficient chip removal that helps get these one drops and these two drops through in for damage in the early game. I only have three because I didn't get the fourth one yet. When I open the fourth dead weight, I will probably add that one as well. Um, but I'm not yet sure. We'll have to see then. The Spoiler of Souls is, you know, uh, 3 power attacker for 2 mana. I don't really care about blocking in this deck, so this isn't really a downside. And in case the game happens to go long and there are casualties, I can bring this back for free basically, to give me another creature to attack with. Bearer of Silence, I can usually play it on turn 2 if I don't have anything better to do, but I really want to leverage this sacrifice ability, uh, because usually if I have some chip removal in the opening hand and this will almost always get a decent card and help deal a lot of damage with the other creatures. Um, Slaughter Drone is just a 2/2 drop. This is the most replaceable card I think in the entire deck. I decided to run this one just because it has a Death Touch ability, so that even if they play a big creature, they will have to trade it for this. Um, if I have this additional mana to pay. We'll see how it goes. I have to test it. I didn't really test this deck at all. I only played it against the AI and it was really good. But again, that doesn't mean anything. Sky Scourer is surprisingly great because vast majority of the spells are colorless. This almost always attacks for at least 2 damage. Since everything is cheap, I very quickly get to cast 2 spells a turn, and if I get 2 Sky Scourers down, then that really adds up quickly. Visions of Brutality is basically another removal spell. I did manage to put this on a Juggernaut once that had to attack each turn, and I jumped it twice, and there was 10 damage right there. So it can situationally be good as well in that kind of scenario, but mostly it's just to prevent blocking. I don't think there are many decks that will race this one, but if there is such a thing, this will absolutely help. Grasp of Darkness, I think this is the best removal in the set. I may be wrong, but I like it a lot. And by the time this game should be over, this thing should kill anything worth killing on the board. Spatial Contortion, this was complete disregard at the beginning, but there were two problems with that. First, this one is cheaper, and second one, complete disregard exiles, which is a problem with Kalidas. Kalidas doesn't have any synergies in this deck apart from killing my opponent's creatures. And if it exiles, then there's no additional value. And since I am playing plenty of colorless sources, this casting cost isn't that much of a drawback. But I'll have to try it out and see. Maybe that one is more reliable. Essence Depleter is something to help me push the final damage, just a little bit of reach. It definitely, I can definitely envision plenty of scenarios where you just cannot get through anymore, and this really helps. Kozilek Shrieker is really hard to block. This menace thing is a menace. And often it will trade for 2 creatures unless it basically, even if it can be blocked, it usually trades for 2 creatures. But it often cannot be, because this is so cheap to activate, and you cast 1 removal spell in this, and it's 4 damage. So that's pretty good. Kalidas, I think, is self-explanatory. This thing is a house. If they don't remove it immediately, and you have 1 removal spell, and they have to trade in the attacks, it's just profit. Smothering Abomination is a card that I wasn't impressed with. So this is the one that I'm throwing out as a last change and replacing it with Reality Smasher. The reason I don't like it is because it simply makes me not want to play. And it is really bad. So on turn 4, I want to keep up the pressure, but if I play this, I am living in fear of a removal spell on my upkeep that 2-for-1s me, and that is horrible. Additional problem is, even if the removal doesn't happen, I have to lose one of my creatures. Sure, I get a card back for it, but I want to attack with as many creatures as possible. And even though those can be blocked much easier than this, it's still very fragile. When it works great. When you play it after you already played 3 or 4 creatures, then it's great. But it often happens that you don't have that many creatures on the board, and playing that it's just a liability. Things can go wrong really quickly. And if it does get removed, like I said, in your upkeep, when you have to choose the creature to sacrifice, then you're just losing that creature and this creature, and you get nothing. So I've decided to put in Reality Smasher because I want to play this guy all the time. Plus, I'm a little biased because I really, really like this card. And there is no scenario in which I would not want. Okay, well, there's always some, but more likely than not, when I draw this and I have 5 mana, I'm gonna cast it. Ob Nixilis is just another way to help get back in the game in case it gets long or longer than I would like. Also, it's a removal spell, for that final blocker that I need to get out of the way in case that matters, or a bigger threat if things have gone wrong. And that's it. The rest of the deck are just lands, 12 swamps, Westwell Abbey. It's another backup plan. I wanted to put something in the deck that let me survive. Oh, not survive. That let me have at least a small, tiny chance of getting back in the game. Like if my opponent barely holds on and manages to kill all my threats. I want to have something that is not counterable and that can put threats on the board. Ruins of Warren Reef is the card that I'm probably the most on the fence of if it should be in the deck, because I don't like coming into play tapped lands in this deck because I just need to hit my mana. But on the other hand, the additional +1/+1 counter to any of the creatures that I cast, except for the 3/1 for 2, is really good. Like if I put a +1 counter on a 1/2 flyer, it's already 2/2, and then any colorless spells I cast just make it that much, make it hit that much harder. So I will test it. If it turns out to be a problem more often than a bonus, I will cut it for something else. Foundry of the Consuls is just more creatures. If I manage to flood out, it's a colorless mana that turns into 2 flyers, which can be good enough to close out the game. Also, previously it was fodder for Smothering Abomination. Now they're just going to be attackers, I guess. And Crumbling Vestige basically plays a role of a swamp immediately and then colorless souls, which actually helps. Sometimes you just draw too many of these lands and you need some more black mana to cast your spells. Okay, that's it. And now we take this to PvP Arena. And let's do some battle and see if this deck actually can beat anyone. So it's a very aggressive deck, but Wing Kuripol, only level 3, so maybe we will not get the toughest opponent, but that can actually be deceptive. I will keep this hand. It's not great, but at least it has 2 2-drops and a removal spell, which can help. Unfortunately, if I want to play the Spoiler of Souls, I have to start with a Swamp and can't play my tapped land. So our opponent is also on the aggressive plan. And I think that should slightly be in favor of us. But it's definitely tougher to win than against a deck that doesn't do anything for 3-4 turns. But if they pack a lot of removal, you know, that can be a problem. Okay. Okay. So we immediately get a 2-for-1. I can't block even if I wanted to. So what's the plan? I could uh, kill both creatures and attack for 3. Um, yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Even though this isn't a problem at all, I'm gonna be casting these 2 drops next turn. Um, I want to start getting damage in. It's not ideal that we drew this many lands, but if we draw one of the 5 drops, then it will be good. But still, we have things to cast for a couple more turns. It's definitely a race now. Now, I could just play. I could just play this thing, make it a 3/4. And I can trade, or I can play a slaughter drone, or both of them actually. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'd rather put more power in play. Even though the Essence Depleter could block and trade if I put a +1/+1 counter on it. Um, I would rather stay on the aggressive plan. I could also have just played one of these. Yeah. Now this is a problem now. This attacks for 7 trample. Yeah, I wish I went with the other plan. This is lethal next turn. Hmm. I can't play both of these, which definitely is an issue. Yeah, I think I'll just attack with this. Because right now I have to get very, very defensive. Unfortunately. Now Now, do I just put a counter on it? I think so. That way I can still keep Death Touch on this guy. If only I could have cast two spells, but I couldn't. Does it have to attack each turn? No. Damn. If I just drawn anything that costs less than 3. Oh, Traitorous Instinct? Really? Oh, that is horrible. So I can block this and take 5. This means any removal spell or, I mean, any damage would be lethal. So I'm actually not gonna cast anything and hope I can get 3 drains with this, which would keep me alive. Unless there's more than 3 damage coming. And if an opponent plays a hasty creature, I can make 2 1/1 flyers. Okay. Okay. This should win the game. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Not in this scenario usually. Oh, now I can win in many ways. Yeah. I'm just gonna do this. Okay. we, we pulled this one out barely by 1 damage. Ugh. It was awkward though, because if I could have just played 2 spells that turn, but unfortunately drew another 3-drop. Yeah, because if I played a spell, you would just have a 4/3 without trample, and it would be a completely different situation. Okay, so 1 win in the bag. But yeah, that was against a really aggressive deck. Um, which obviously can be an issue if somebody races uh, with bigger creatures than you. Um, it probably would have been different if I had just put a 3/3 creature that can get that touch that turn. Cookie Monster? No, I don't want to fight Cookie Monster. Cookie Monster's so cool. Um, again, not an impressive hand. But we play first, so um, I'm gonna keep. Hopefully, we draw something else to play on 2. Because then I don't have to cast Bearer of Silence. And can be good later. Where were you? This would have been... Yeah, I'll just cast River Drone. This could be wrong, but um, I want to get the sweet value, and this attacks for 2 just as well. I can play a removal spell next turn, and I'm gonna have to play a removal spell. This is so horrible. Should have played the Crumbling Vestige. Now I can't cast Barrel of Silence next turn. Now change of plans. Yeah, I did this all wrong. This could be really deciding. Not only can I not pump the Shrieker, I can't cast Bearer of Silence now. Not that I would want to this turn because I have other plays, other removals. Yeah. Yeah, so we are going to be cleaning the board, but um, still only 5 damage. It could have been 6. No blocks. Um, yeah, I think I'm gonna cast. I could cast a Slaughter Drone as well, or just Grasp in this. Just, I would like to have more creatures in play. Yeah, it's already turn 4 and we've only done 5 damage. That's not great, but our board position looks pretty good. Because we can kill this, If they play another creature, looks like Cookie Monster is undecided. Yeah, no blocks. I think the race is in our favor here, so yeah, I'm definitely casting a Bearer of Silence right now. Because they probably are gonna play a removal spell. Um, so I don't want to waste mana on Kozilek Shrieker because it's gonna get killed almost certainly. Yes. But if by any chance they don't have a removal spell, this is going to be a lot of damage. Yeah. That was definitely expected. Now, if we draw two of them, huh? If we draw a Reality Smasher, it's probably game over. One more removal spell will do it as well. No, that's not it. If I attack with everything, he goes to 9. If I just attack with this, he still goes to 9. So decisions. I think I would like to have more creatures, just in case I do draw a removal spell. Then I can at least prevent lifelink, even if this trades with something else. If I was in a position where I would do more damage attacking with everybody, and he would be at a lower life total if I did, then I would attack. Yeah. But I don't want to trade my creature for 0 result. Heritage against Death Touch. Really? I'll definitely block. This is a free block. He gains 2 life, but I keep a creature on the board. Okay, now I'm definitely attacking with everything. Because he only has 1 card in hand. And he will not just be at 9. I don't care which one he blocks. Obviously I'd prefer to block the Essence Depleter, but that's not gonna happen. Like this. There's a drain from Essence Depleter at the end of turn, so they're essentially at 6 life at the moment, which is lethal even through a removal spell. And we drew the removal spell. That should do it. Unless there are 2 removal spells. Okay. Well, Cookie Monster, I'm really sorry, but it's a cookie kind of world. Well, let's go to round 3. To be fair, these weren't the best kind of decks we were facing, so that really means nothing. Even Super Friends demolished this field. But now we're gonna get someone with ranking about 25. War Rapid. Maybe Rapid. Depends where they're from. This I don't like. There's just colorless mana. I can't even cast this without another swamp. That's the only card that's castable. Yeah, this is much better. It's not great, and we're not on the play, which is immediately a huge disadvantage. But you can't always win the die roll. Or ever, in my case. I like Reality Smasher. When you already are certain to hit 4 land drops. Looks good. So we're playing against blue-red. Aha. It's another one of those aggressive spell decks. That's not great for us. We're gonna have to take a little bit of damage, I'm afraid. There's no way I was gonna block, so playing 2-2 is irrelevant. Aha. There we go. Thing in the ice. So no spells this turn. No, I'm not blocking. That weight is interesting. I could just play dead weight. Yeah, and a 2-2. Dead weight this. Slaughter drone. The thing in the ice is a big problem. This is exactly the situation where instead of spatial contortion, complete disregard would have been better. So that's something to keep in mind. That we only have three cards in the entire deck that deal with this. Oh, actually Visions of Brutality deals just fine. Yeah, I think I'm fine with that. So what do I do here? They could technically play 3 spells next turn. And that would be really terrible. So I'm gonna play conservatively again. Uh, and try to prevent that. I mean, I can't prevent it, but prevent us being the only one to take 10 damage or 7, which is a lot. But if they take 7 too, then that's a lot better. Especially with the Reality Smasher coming in. Yeah, there we go. So they would only need to cast 2 spells. This should definitely be a very interesting game. We have Spatial Contortion. If another smaller thing comes into play. Okay. So it is just attack for 1. Okay. Hmm. Well, they could have a removal spell, but yeah, it's not. But it's better that they transform it on their turn, I think. Oh no, why did my mana tap that way? Come on, deck. I hate this client so very much. It's so awful. It makes these nonsensical things happen. Like I should have been able to play uh, a Scourer again. Oh, this is so bad. Why both black mana? I really wonder. Makes absolutely no sense. Yeah, if that didn't happen, I would have been able to attack for 3 this time. Slipper space. Okay. Put the royal. Okay. This Reality Smasher is still just waiting. For one more land. Well, it's not gonna happen this time. Okay. So I can play Bearer of Silence. It could make him discard this thing. And sacrifice that thing. Or I can play 2 other creatures and attack for 3. Now I think I want to keep 2 creature plan. Oh, he could also just sacrifice this 7/8. But 7/8 is also a threat. Oh, I'm gonna give him a chance. So. Okay, he decided to lose Thing in the Ice. I'm okay with that. Because that puts a lot of pressure off me. Like, getting me down to 7 and attack with that thing could be an issue. Now I think I'm in a better position. And yeah. If I get to play 2 colorless spells next turn, I can attack for 8 in the air. I mean, clearly they have some sort of removal spell. Traitorous Instinct. That is interesting. Any pump spells? No. Okay. So I can attack for 5, 6, 7, 9 next turn. I mean this turn. Can they deal 10 damage to me? This thing requires their entire mana. I think I'll save Reality Smasher for next turn and just put 2 more creatures on the board. Because they could have another Traitorous Instincts, and that would immediately be 7, 8, so they would just need 1 more pump spell. 2 damage somewhere. It's risky. I think I prefer this plan for now. I might regret this. I've been waiting, but if I had still been at 15, I would totally do that. But there is a realistic way in which I can get hit for 10. Even without playing the Reality Smasher, but it's much, much less likely. because I have then a blocker. They could play Slip Through Space, but starting from a 1-1, that would be a really, really big ask. I think this way I'm guaranteed a win next turn. They would have to have something really special. Yeah, Fiery Temper. Seals the deal, I think. I can take one, but you can't take a million. I don't know why it would matter, but just in case. Yeah. Predicted a concession. Alright. 3-0 for one. Let's jump right into the next one. So yeah, this was legitimately a problematic deck. If they get Slip Through Space and pump spells, especially on creatures with prowess, it can escalate really quickly. Obviously, Thing in the Ice is the biggest problem, and we got lucky there to draw something that can handle it. So that is the only creature right now that I've encountered where I would wish to have complete disregard instead of the +3/-3. Pablo MLG. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we're in trouble now. MLG's here. Opponent plays first. What a shocker. So we have one land. And we have 2 opportunities to draw another one. If we do, then we're great. Because everything costs 2 or less. White-red mana. Could be another aggressive deck. Come on, draw land, draw land, draw land. It is a land. Oh. Who said you don't need luck in Magic? Obviously this doesn't mean anything. But clearly it gives us a lot of plays. So now the question is, do I want to kill that before some sort of life shenanigans start happening? Yeah, if that's a life gain deck, it could definitely be an issue. This was a mistake, by the way. I should have played the Bearer of Silence. Because that would get me through damage. Or at least it's much more likely that it will get through for damage. Okay, don't give him a land, don't give him a land. Of course it's a land. What else would it be? They're attacking, huh? Yeah, I can race. I can race. I don't mind that. What? They conceded? Oh, of course they conceded because they couldn't play a land. Yeah, that's... I have no words for this stupidity. And how can they defend it as a feature to make the games go faster when there are so many things that you can't do because of this? So our opponent even didn't have another land drop in hand, so that's what happened. And they were lucky to draw land of this thing, but the client said no. So what do I do here? I can make this not block, or just play colorless Shrieker. I think I want to start dealing damage. Um, okay, I'll see if I get a trade here. I'm willing to trade that one. Probably not. Okay. Play the Shrieker. Yeah, I really feel bad for our opponent because MLGs especially will get very salty about things like that. Um, yeah, I'll take 2. So now I have to kill Gideon. Yeah. Kill Gideon. Give this thing menace. And attack with everything. Oh, there's a land. Yeah, I don't think that one's gonna be good enough. Oh, opponent is still attacking. Okay, I can play Visions of Brutality on the 2-1 plus the Despoiler, but only if Magic Duels isn't so stupid to not let me. So this can't block. Attack for 5. There is definitely a case to be made for playing Bearer of Silence that turn, because now it's basically nullified because you can just sack this thing. But hopefully that won't matter. Yeah, I can just grasp and attack for lethal. Grasp this thing. That should do it. Okay, another win for Suicide Blank. That's 4-0. We are making ground on the last outing of the Super Friends. Though to be fair, Super Friends ran into much more unfortunate decks. Um, against all of these, probably be fine. Hegel. Well, Hegel should probably offer. Well, I can't keep this hand because I played first. Oh, this is better. Okay, our opponent is mulliganing to Oblivion. So, yeah. Again. Looks like we won't have a game. That's terrible. Yeah, but it's just a part of Magic. Yeah, our hand is not great. I have to play that. And I still don't have double black for Grasp of Darkness. I don't have 3 mana for Kozilek Shrieker, much less 5 for the Reality Smasher. But we are attacking for 4 this turn, and they're stuck on lands. Okay, well, this helps a little bit. It's not perfect, I would rather see a Swamp. But this casts the Kozilek Shrieker, and that should be a big step towards the win. I like this card a lot in this deck. It's just so hard for them to keep up with the amount of creatures it takes. To block it, and yeah, it requires a removal spell. Oh look, we drew a replacement. And if your draw is like this, when you draw so many colorless sources, it's even better because you just get fire breathing. That's really difficult to block. And even if they manage to do so, you always take down 2 creatures with it. And there's a second black. I'm definitely pumping this thing twice. Still not over. But it, for all intents and purposes, it actually is. Oh, looks like our opponent had a Sweet Madness deck, but just couldn't draw into a good hand. At least a keepable hand. 5 matches without a defeat. I think the games are going a bit faster than Super Friends, even though I had some quick losses last time. But this time we can get quick wins. which is also important. And the connectivity today. Papa Wizard! Papa Wizard, will you bring us down? Or will you just take us down? Yeah, I'll keep. Oh, we're on the play! Fantastic. It's like Christmas. Well, it would be Christmas if we had a 1-drop. We don't. Green, white. Alright. I'm playing with the spoiler. Just in case they don't have a play. They don't have a play. It's great. Ooh, that's a big deal. Act 3. Fog? Oh, it's one of those decks, huh? Well, I didn't. That really took me off guard. I really didn't expect to see Fog on turn 2 from a green-white deck, even. Well, maybe that just means they have another Fog. Let's find out together. They sure do. This makes me think they have a Wrath of sorts in the deck. So I'll just play Shriekers instead of Kalitas. And hope they run out of Fogs. Let's see if there's Fog number 3 in hand. Nope. I made a mistake. I wanted to pump, but I forgot because I was so excited. So now we don't have a kill this turn. Okay. That one also comes into play tapped. Yeah, I really messed this up. Yeah. This would have been already done and dusted. Like they're at 1. And I have Essence Depleter. Okay. So it probably would have gone poorly for me. Even last turn. I would have lost the creature and I wouldn't be able to deal 3 damage this time. Well, Ob Nixilis isn't going to do it. They can just kill themselves. Honorable Seppuku? No? Forest Fog? Well, I will attack. And I won't attack the Planeswalker. 0 mana Fog? Alright. Well, these are the sort of decks that I've been talking about at the beginning, that I lost to last time. I would get bad draws, they would get 2 fogs and the counter spell or 2, and I just couldn't do anything. But this time I'm attacking for 9 and 10. And definitely got a little bit lucky um, that I forgot to pump, because that creature would have died turns sooner. Although I would have played the replacement then, because that would, if they had a wrath, they probably wouldn't just kill a creature, and they would have saved the removal spell. Zales or Xiles, Casacovalcas. Well, this is not a good hand. Uh, Tink can do better. Oh man, not this. Well, yep. This time is our turn to mulligan into Oblivion. I'm not gonna mulligan again. I should have probably kept the first hand, because from what I had in hand, I only had cheap spells and lands in the deck, and lands would obviously have been very bad. But anything else is probably really good. Didn't draw a swamp, so our opponent is also on some sort of colorless plan. Um, yeah, I'll just play the bearer. This hand isn't good enough to wait. We're a card down, which is terrible. We have a 5-dropping hand, which is supposed to be backup plan. Okay. We could draw a swamp here, it would be good. It's not a swamp. Oh. Just play another Bear of Silence. I could kill Nissa, but she's not a problem at the moment. And I want to try to get more damage in while I can. Yeah, just put it into play. Yep. Okay. This still isn't 7, right? Okay. Now I'm definitely killing this. Oh, why 5-drop? Why? If that was a land, I could have played River Drone and the removal spell, and it would have been lethal next turn. This way it most definitely isn't. Man, Reality Smasher and Obnixilis. Yeah, there we go. And this is basically just game over. Yeah, yeah. Too late. Too late. I didn't even have this spoiler out. If I had this spoiler out, I could have played it now. Yeah, it's really difficult to beat. Yeah, and now the Eldrazi is coming next turn. It's really difficult to beat a sweeper, especially with the suboptimal hand. Because if I was now at 5 mana, this would have been a completely different story. Because I could at least cast Reality Smasher, and it would be pretty good. So we have 0 plays. Oh well, have to lose sometime. Yeah, now they gain million life. Yeah, this game is now officially, completely and utterly done. I won't concede just yet, but I really don't see a way to win. The only possible way could be if we draw Swamp, Swamp, and they don't have a single removal spell left. No, it's not meant to be. I mean, yeah, that's magic. Sooner or later, it's your turn to suffer the randomness or variety, or whatever. Yep, definitely removal spells. Never blocking. Wow. uh, yeah, I just concede. That's enough. I've seen enough. Ugh, so bad. That was just so bad. Even if I kept the first hand, unless I drew exactly like 1 drop, 2 drop, uh, it wouldn't do enough damage. I would get ruined by the board sweeper. Lovecraft. This is not good again. Too many lands. But I'll keep. See what happens. Yeah. Yeah, drawing removals instead of creatures. I should have definitely known. Sometimes you have to learn the hard way. So this transforms. Okay, but no spells. Did I have this in my opening hand? I don't remember. Okay, so now we're officially out of creatures. I can't play Aura Reef because then I can't play a removal spell. So I have to do this, kill that, play the River Drum. So it looks like we're playing against werewolves. With a bad hand. Yeah. So I again can't cast this. Unless I cast Visions of Brutality on it. Um, yeah, sure. So I'm gonna make a prediction that we're not winning this game. Instead of playing one drop on turn one, we drew two 1-drops. Oh wow. That's so many of those. No blocks. I have to play a spell because they will transform. So we'll kill one of them. But I will not attack. If I had 6 land and I could play Reality Smasher and make it a 6/6, then I probably would trade for this. For both 3/3s. The opponent could just not play anything and transform. Yep, that's what they're trying to do. but I'm gonna try a different route. See if that helps. You have a removal spell? What? Oh, come on. That's not fair. Oh, yeah, I knew that I should have attacked with everything. Because I already seen one twin bolt. Ugh, crap. Alright, maybe they draw land. Who knows? Yeah, this was brutal. Really? Alright. I like that one. Okay, so let's not fuck this up. You sack a creature. I knew! I just... Look, I can't... You see that? I can't select any way to not tap this for some reason. I want to tap this card! I wanted to put a +1/+1 counter on my creature. But it wouldn't let me tap this. Which is my fault. I should have predicted this horrible thing and just tapped 4 lands in advance. Absolutely disgusting. Sure, you can cast as many of those as you like. Yeah, so let's count if this was actually a proper game. I would be attacking for 5 here. Our opponent would be at 8. Well, that's a good one. Yeah, that's really good. So let's see. If I cast this, I can attack for 4 and drain for 1. I think I shouldn't be dead next turn, so this is okay. So they should be at 3 now and basically dead. Because I would be able to drain 1 this turn and for 2 next turn. This way it's not just over. Okay, spend 3 mana to get a creature. Can only be a creature. I will not block. Okay. Concession. Pulled out another victory. It's now versus the werewolf deck. Yeah, I'm just slamming here with everyone. Want to keep up 2 drains just in case. No need. Excellent. I think we're gonna play just one more game to give our opponents a chance to bring us back to the rank of 20. As we feel slightly over leveled with this deck at number 21. We'll see. I like the deck. It obviously has a lot of weaknesses, but when it's performing, it's really fast. We were 2 for 1 there a couple of times and still pulled it out. XXX Zeus XXX. Zeus with triple X's around. No black mana. Fortunately, can't keep it. Otherwise, it was great. 2 5-drops, huh? Well, this could be really horrible. But I didn't want to go to 6. If this was a first hand, I would also mulligan it. Yeah, I'll play this. Looks like another aggressive deck. Now you come. Okay. Because I played this, I couldn't kill this at all, so now if they have a removal spell, they also get an equipment. Yeah, I will block just because I don't want to give them value. This is not a deck that should block, but yeah, I'm happy with Gideon's approach here. It would happen sooner or later. I just don't see a need to give them additional cards. Swamp. So now I could just kill this. Or play 2 creatures. If I play 2 creatures, I would have to double block this. They're behind on lands. I don't have any other removal, so I'm gonna play these two. We could get 2 for 1, because I'll be double blocking this. Ah, value land. I mean value creature. Well, it's a value land as well. I hate that. So they were just basically keeping a land in their hand to get value from that, which is fair enough. I've done this as well when I was on the draw. Okay. Does that signal no attacks? So I'd welcome that. There are attacks anyway. I should have blocked the other way. Give my opponent chance to mess up. Okay. This was a good draw. I could kill a 2/2 first striker, but I'm really not worried about taking a little bit of damage. I just want to get creatures down. Ooh, almost forgot. Almost forgot. Throwing knife. Huh? It's a good thing I did this because it gets out of range of throwing knife. Oh, but it's now it's a 4/2 first striker. But will you sacrifice it? No. So do I block here with 1/1? I don't think so. I would just kill this. I guess we're gonna have to play a control. Uh, uh, I can't cast both of these. I think I do want to kill this thing, just in case there's some I mean, I do want to kill it on this turn, just in case there are some sort of, I don't know, pump spells that would pump this for more than 2. It's so unlikely though. I could trade my Shrieker for these 2 creatures. I think I like that. I'm not even gonna pump unless they don't block. Your turn, sir. Yeah, I see what I did wrong there. Oh boy. I should have killed it before combat. Land? Not that one. Ah, well, that was terrible. Um, See, this is why I hate this. This is the only reason I hate it, because I really don't want them to come in into play tap. But such value that they provide is also important. I have to do this. Um, yeah, I have to stay back on blocking duty. Ah, this was unfortunate. I should have killed that before combat, so they would have to invest mana to re-equip the knife if they wanted to block. I mean, if they wanted to kill my blocker. Oh no, dropped frames. That's terrible. I should have just ended before this game. I won't be able to. That is also good. I don't know if I can get out of this. Yeah, well, if I had two of these much sooner, it would have been a lot better. Oh no, I didn't think this through. I thought I would be able to block, but I won't be able to block if this thing attacks. Well, everything went poorly. So if they have an ally, the game is just over. Uh, if they don't, it's still very difficult to imagine. They could just pump the team and it's gonna be over. Or that. That also does it. Okay, so we do lose another one. It was just an unfortunate draw. Drew all our 5 drops and then drew tap land, the last tap land in the deck for our 5th land drop, which prevented us from playing anything. And, yeah. Okay, that's it. Um, I hope I've managed to get this on YouTube somehow, but I doubt it. Because there was a glitch. But if you're watching this, I guess I succeeded. Okay. Um, Before we go, we're gonna take a quick trip to the store and see what new cards we have to work with for the future decks. 18%. Can we buy 8 boosters? No, only 6. Which means 2 by 2. Alright. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Ever After. I like Ever After. I like Lightning Axe even more. I think that's the first one, so yay, Madness decks. This obviously is awful. No. There are better things than Rush of Adrenaline. Uh, okay. I have both Ever Afters now, so I can start. Oh, yes. Second, always watching. I think next time I stream, I will be playing a deck I call Renown in Japan, and this thing will be really good in there. So one more for the Madness decks. This isn't good enough to play. Apothecary Geist. It's okay. Biting Rain. Maybe. This is also good for Delirium. We'll see. Okay, so one good rare. I think the other one is also fine, but still need to find a home for it. 2 more. I said next to. The rare is Slayer's Blade. Well, this is finally a decent equipment. Something that hasn't been printed in a long time. Um, I don't know how good it is. Because it has to be in a human deck to really shine. Because this is really expensive to pay 3 to play and equip. But if you get a flyer back in return, that could be worth it. Uh, this is okay, but I'm not in love with it. And this could be good. We'll see. For now, I don't have plans for any of these cards. Flameblade Angel. Hmm. I think these days you can do better than that. Fiery Temper is really good. Essence Flux? Is that our teacher control? Oh, meh. Guess can do something in a spirit deck. Sparring Captain could be good in an aggro white deck. But might as well not. I'd rather play, the enchantment, the anthem. And the final 2 boosters. Oops. Can we get a mythic? It's been a while. Yes. Yes, we can. Well, another super friend has arrived. When we build the next iteration of that deck, you can be certain that Arlingcord is going to be in it. Okay. I think only Jace is missing, the new one. The rest I already was fortunate enough to open. Passive Angel, I like this creature. For the human deck, this is also good. I think it should be good enough, even for constructed play. This doesn't impress me. Maybe this would be good in a blue-black zombie deck. Let's see if we can make that happen. But yeah, Alincord. Ooh, baby. I like that one. Bandit, huh? What does this do? Oh, it automatically transforms werewolves once she is transformed. Hmm. I'm definitely willing to try that out. This is great in a vampire deck. If I can make a Madness vampire deck, yeah, I'm excited to play with this card. I will definitely try. You know, like with these things, tenacity. This can be a blowout, epic blowout, but I think it's too expensive. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. All right, that's it. Um, that was Suicide Blank deck. He did pretty well. I think went like 7-2, I think, which is pretty decent result. Um, and next time, like I said, watch out for always watching the renown in Japan. Uh, until then, take care of yourselves. Bye bye.